Come on, it's getting on for 10. I've seen a magistrate throw a case out of court because a senior constable was 30 seconds late.
I'm right.
Yes, so am I. Grab the evidence box, will you, mate? Man,
Yeah, I'm coming.
No,
all right.
I was just wondering if you maybe wanted to have some dinner
Cutting
tonight.
a bit fine, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
You've got your bomb hoax case, haven't
Oh, that was George Tobias's campaign work, wasn't it? You've been trying to get it on since May, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, is Big George going to put in an appearance?
you? Bit too mundane for your local MP. He'll be too busy kissing babies and opening shopping centres. So what are you hanging around for?
Well, ask her.
Doyle, I've seen a magistrate throw a case out of court simply because a senior constable was
Boss,
30 seconds
I've
late.
tried that one.
So what's the problem?
The report on the local neighbourhood watch program has to be off to Evanley by tomorrow evening.
So why did you take it on?
Because someone's got to do it. There's a risk the program could be wound up due to lack of support, which means more work for all of us, including yourself.
All right, let's just get going.
So how long do you expect to be gone?
I'm only appearing in the Exceed .05, so I'll be back by lunch.
All right, leave it with me then.
Oh, okay. Be great. Go. Tap. All right. Oops. Thanks. See ya. What were you going to ask me?
Hey?
Back at the station.
Oh, yeah, well, I was just going to ask
Hey
you...
guys, we've got a problem. The prosecutor's been carted off to hospital with a ruptured appendix.
Bloody hell.
Well, can't one of you do it?
I'm the major witness in this terrorist thing.
I thought it was a bomb hoax.
Maggie, when people send bombs, fake or otherwise, they're terrorists, okay?
Oh, okay. Keep your shirt on. Now, look, Wayne can probably do it.
Well, no, he's got the Exceed .05.
You can do it.
What?
You can do it.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I haven't read the briefs, and besides, I'm a witness myself.
Only in the Exceed PCA.
Look, what about your case? I know nothing about it. I was on leave then.
And you'll bring a fresh mind to it. Come on.
PJ, I have got this
Maggie.
neighbourhood watch report. It's got to be done by tomorrow.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Yourself a prosecutor?
Yes, sir. Constable Maggie Doyle here.
Good. You've prosecuted before, Constable.
No, sir, I haven't. I'm actually rather concerned about taking it on our field.
Yes, but you do have some training in court procedure.
Yes.
Well, we all have to start somewhere. Take the circumstances into account.
No.
Todd Ellery? Hey, Wayne.
Nice bike. Where's your helmet?
Oh, man, the odds were going crazy about my court appearance.
Yeah, and?
Well, Dad came charging out in a really bad mood and backed out the ute without looking. He ran over my helmet. I was lucky he didn't take out the bike as well.
Todd, you're still required by law to wear a helmet.
Yeah, but if I fail to turn up to court, you guys are going to arrest me. Well, give me a break, Wayne. I've got enough problems.
All right, mate, look, you produce the damaged helmet and I won't charge you, okay?
No worries.
And I mean that helmet. Not some kid's toy, not something you picked up off the street. I want the helmet I've seen you wear. Occasionally.
Todd Ellery! Todd Ellery!
Okay, we're on.
Oh, man, I suppose it's too late to bribe you, so you can change your evidence.
Quit while you're behind, Todd.
What did you do then?
I intercepted him and gave him a preliminary breath test. The results of this test indicated a positive blood alcohol reading. So I then conveyed him back to the Mount Thomas police station where he underwent a breathalyzer test. As a result of this test, a blood alcohol reading of 0.08 was obtained. He was then charged with Exceed PCA and exceeding 60 kilometres per hour in a built-up area.
Constable, what excuse did the defendant give for these offences?
He said he had a lot on his mind.
Do you wish to cross-examine?
Oh, just a moment, Your Worship. Do you produce a copy of the certificate of analysis?
Yes, I do.
And did the defendant receive a copy?
Yes, he did.
I attended this exhibit, Your Worship.
Thank you. Mr. Roberts?
No questions, Your Worship.
Yeah, well, when's this due exactly? Well, any chance of extending the deadline by 48 hours? Well, 24. Yeah, all right, I'll get someone else onto it. Yeah, no, that's all right. Thank you, bye.
Would you stand up, please, Mr. Ellery? Have you anything to say for yourself before I pass sentence?
Yes, Your Worship. As a matter of fact, I do.
And what might that be, Mr. Ellery?
What, would you like me to say it now?
Yes, please.
Well, I have quite a few things to say, as it happens, Your Worship. First off, I didn't realise that I'd drunk so much that day and, well, the Mudlarks won the game and I sort of forgot myself.
Go on.
The other thing is, I've just got a job driving a truck and if I lose my licence, I'll lose the job. I've been unemployed for 12 months and things are just starting to look up for me and I'd hate to be thrown back into a cycle of poverty-induced depression as a result of a momentary lapse of...
Yes, I get the picture, thank you.
One more thing, Your Worship. I'd like to apologise to the police here for any inconvenience I might have caused, and I promise that it won't happen again.
Is that all, Mr. Ellery?
Should I mention my deprived childhood?
No, I don't think that will be necessary, thank you. In this matter, I find the police case proven. Are there any prior convictions?
No, Your Worship.
All right, since it is a first offence, and given the low alcohol reading, the circumstances of the incident and the fact that you have shown some remorse, I'm prepared to show you some leniency. But if you appear before this court again, you'll get no leniency whatsoever. Do you understand? I'm allowing you to enter a 12-month adjourned undertaking without conviction, conditional that you pay $1,000 into the court poor box. You agreeable to that, Mr. Ellery?
$1,000? Where am I going to get that?
Well, by some legal means, I trust.
You, Mags, did very well.
Well, 1 down and 20 to go.
Excuse me. Senior Detective Hasham, isn't it?
Yes, Mrs. Carter.
How long before we get called?
Well, let's fit next, straight after the adjournment, say 15 minutes.
Thank you.
So, Senior, is that our terrorist?
Defendant, Maggie. The name of?
Oh, I've got that. Stephen Meredith. Research graduate. He lives outside St David's.
Campaign worker for Tobias.
And Mrs. Carter?
A senior advisor for Tobias.
She witness?
Yeah, for the defence, possibly. She bailed him. Tobias probably asked her to shepherd him through this thing.
And what about Tobias? Is he appearing?
No.
Well, did he make a statement?
It's on the brief, man. We don't... Come here. Tobias is nowhere near the electorate at the time, okay? And he's not under suspicion.
Had a mate had one of them. Built it from the ground up. Beautiful thing. How fast she go?
No, like a rocket. Oh, but not over the speed limit, though.
No, of course not.
Anyway, she's for sale.
Since when?
Well, since about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How much?
Excuse me, mate.
No parking here.
Oh, come on, mate. All this great wide open space, does it really matter where I park?
With all this great wide open space on your windscreen, does it matter where I put the ticket?
All right, Constable, if you insist.
You haven't met Stephen Meredith, Brady Jackson.
No, it doesn't look like the defence counsel's even met his client before now.
Well, that's not unusual.
He's good looking.
He's a bit chubby.
Chubby, it's muscle. Who is he? I know I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, Brady Jackson. Bit of a star lawyer. You would have seen him on the news.
PJ, you can't expect me to take on a defence lawyer like Brady Jackson.
Why not?
Because he handles really big cases.
Well, he handles cases that are reported in the press, yeah.
And he wins.
And makes big money, so?
I can't take him on. Look, let's just request an adjournment.
Maggie, we have a very strong case here, all right? Now, the magistrate seems to be very fair.
Oh, great.
Those kids could have been blown up by that bomb, Maggie.
The bomb was a fake.
That doesn't make any difference.
Mount Thomas Magistrates Court is
All right,
now
let's
adjourned.
just do it.
Right, object to anything he says that doesn't sound right, even if you're not sure about it, okay?
I can't object
Look,
if I
there's
don't
a problem,
have a
the
reason.
magistrate will help you.
Morning, all. So, who's prosecuting?
Constable Doyle.
Really? Ah, prosecuted many cases, Constable? Yeah, enough. Good, good. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Someone.
Sorry, Brady Jackson.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
You're up?
Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this.
My name is Gemma Andrea Malcolm. I'm an independent Green candidate, and I stood as a candidate at the last by-election here.
Could you tell the court what happened on the afternoon of April the 14th?
I came home expecting to arrive just before my daughters got back from school.
And what time was that?
About 3:30, but the girls were already home.
What happened then?
They called out to me, and I found them opening a brightly wrapped parcel, but when I looked at it more clearly, I realised it was ticking.
Did this parcel look like a gift of some sort?
Yes, it did.
Is that what the girls thought it was?
Objection. The witness can't say what the children thought.
Just rephrase that question, please, Constable.
Did the girls say anything to you at all about the parcel?
My elder daughter said someone must have left a present for Natasha's birthday.
But it was ticking?
Yes.
Did this fact lead you to believe that the parcel might contain an explosive device?
Objection, Your Worship. Now, surely the police prosecutor can ask a question without also supplying an answer.
Yes, objection upheld. Look, try not to lead the witness, Constable. And, take your time.
Ah, Nick! You can help me collate some of this neighbourhood watch stuff. There's so many bits and pieces, it's driving me crazy.
I'm not your man, boss. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I'd be more of a
You're
hindrance.
very far behind me. Now, look, we start with these. What we've got to do is get some comparative figures for the period before the scheme
Mount
was
Thomas Police
introduced.
Senior Constable Short speaking. Yes, madam. Yes? What's your name? Your address? No, it's all right. I'll be right over there. Right. It was Mrs. Jansen. I've got to get over there as soon as I can.
What is it?
She wants to know a bit about the neighbourhood watch. Actually, she's going out shopping, so...
There won't be any neighbourhood watch if we don't get this report finished. What's going on at that bloody court?
Tasha wanted to open it. It was her birthday in 2 days, and she thought it was for her.
Jessica, did you notice any sound coming from the parcel?
A ticking sound.
And did you open it?
We got it half open. I mean, we'd taken off the paper and everything, but we didn't open the box.
Why did you stop?
Because Mum came home and freaked out. She ran out of the house with it and threw it in the dam.
What happened then?
Some guys from the army came and shot at it. But nothing happened.
Jessica, how did you feel about this incident?
We were sorry it didn't blow up. We would have liked to have seen that.
But how did you feel about finding something like this at your house?
It was kind of scary. Tasha cried.
Once it had been established the package was harmless, the contents of the wrapping were retrieved. Produce those contents and wrapping, Your Worship.
I tender these exhibits, Your Worship.
Jackson? Thank you. I'll mark these exhibits A and B. These are?
Remains of the wrapping paper plus the inner workings of an alarm clock wired to some cylinders resembling gelignite. Now, at the bottom of the box, there was a message made of letters cut from a magazine.
Which read?
Next time, kaboom.
Senior, after you finished your investigations, what happened then?
As a result of information received, I obtained a search warrant, a copy of which is on file at the court.
And what was the information you received?
Part of it is not admissible in court.
I'm sorry. Yes, what did you do then?
I searched the defendant's house at St David's. Constable Adam Cooper was also present at the search.
And did you find anything during the course of your search?
Yes, some small pieces of similar wrapping paper as on the parcel delivered to Miss Malcolm's home. It appeared to have been cut off when the parcel was...
Objection, Your Worship. Is this a conclusion that the witness drew, or did the small pieces of paper actually match up with the sheet of paper you used to wrap the parcel?
The wrapping paper was damaged, but the pieces appeared to match, as far as it was possible to determine. I produced these cut pieces in evidence.
I tender this exhibit, Your Worship.
Jackson? Thank you. I'll mark this exhibit C.
Senior, did you find any other components of the parcel during the course of your search? I'm sorry, I'll rephrase that. Did you find anything else in your search, Senior?
Yes, yes. The outside casing of an alarm clock.
And what did you do with this casing?
I fitted the parts found in the parcel into it.
And did the parts fit the casing?
Yes, they did.
What happened then?
I requested the defendant accompany me to Mount Thomas Police Station for interview. The interview was recorded, and the defendant has received a copy of the tape.
Senior, did you question Stephen Meredith of his whereabouts the day the parcel was found?
I did.
And what did he tell you?
That he had an appointment to meet Mr. George Tobias at 3 o'clock
And whereabouts was this meeting to take place?
at the campaign office.
And did Mr. Tobias meet with the defendant?
According to Mr. Meredith, he did not show up. Mr. Tobias also made a statement about the matter. He denied the appointment was ever made.
Objection, Your Worship. This is all hearsay about Mr. Tobias. We have no testimony from him.
I'll ignore that comment. Continue, please, Constable.
Thank you, Your Worship. Senior, did the defendant offer any explanation as to why he was meeting with Mr. Tobias at the campaign office?
Yes, he said he received a fax from him, that is, Mr. Tobias, making the appointment.
And could the defendant produce this fax?
No. He told me you filed it. But a search could not produce it. It should be noted Mr. Tobias was in Melbourne at the time, and phone records would have shown up such a fax.
And did they?
They did not.
I have no further questions, Your Worship.
Mr. Jackson, do you wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Worship.
Well, considering the hour, we'll adjourn for lunch.
All stand. The Mount Thomas Magistrates Court will adjourn until 2 p.m.
See, it's a solid brief, I told you.
Yes, PJ.
Sunshine's going to have his work cut out for him now.
So you prosecute here regularly, do you?
No, it's my first day.
Really? I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Look, as a matter of interest, are you planning on calling all the witnesses that you listed?
Why?
I was kind of hoping on, wrapping this up in one day, maybe getting back to Melbourne tonight.
Oh, your client here might not want to see this rush through.
Well, I wouldn't have thought we need to rush it through. I mean, come on, your case isn't very strong, is it?
Isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's very circumstantial. You've got no really hard evidence against him.
You wouldn't be using the lunch break to lobby the prosecutor, would you, Mr. Jackson?
Never. I use the lunch break to eat. Come on. You both coming to the pub?
No, I'll go back to the station.
All right, then. I'll see you afterwards.
Listen, I'm going to go back and go through the brief. You grab me a sandwich, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Here we go, Todd. As agreed, $1,000 cash.
Well, a guy down the street always reckoned he'd give me $1,200 if I ever wanted to sell.
We'll run down the street and sell it to him.
Well, would you consider meeting his price halfway? Another 100?
$1,000 cash, Todd. Take it or leave it.
Oh, okay.
My client needs some Dutch courage for this afternoon. Cheers. He thinks you only charged him because you're prejudiced?
Oh, no, we charged him because we've got solid evidence.
We'll see.
Cocky bastard.
Is that who I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing here?
Slumming it. It seems to be his attitude. Somebody cashed up's got to be paying for him.
Who's prosecuting?
Maggie,
Maggie? How's she going?
she's loving it.
I hear you've managed to get stuck in court for the rest of the day.
Yeah, look, boss, I'm sorry about that report.
I'll struggle on. It is only going to take a day.
Here you go, Maggie. You have bean sprouts. Keep your strength up.
What's this about Brady Jackson? Who's paying for him for a start?
Oh, you wonder, don't you? Meredith's only got a small research grant.
Yeah, so how does he afford a lawyer like Jackson?
Don't worry about it, Maggie. It's not your problem.
Now, why would he leave this stuff to be found in the house?
It's not your problem, Maggie. You are the prosecutor.
It is my problem if Brady brings it up in the defence case.
Then you just counter it. You've read the brief.
I've had 20 minutes.
And you're 20 minutes better off than before. Now, eat that on the way, please.
Now, what about this clock casing allegedly found at the defendant's house? Did you examine it for fingerprints, Constable?
Senior Detective, Counsel.
Sorry, Senior Detective.
Yes, well, there were a few smudged ones, nothing clear.
So you have no evidence to suggest that my client ever handled that alarm clock, if indeed, Your Worship, it was the alarm clock used in the preparation of the phony bomb?
The outside casing of an alarm clock without the inner workings is not a normal household item. It's an odd thing for the defendant to have in his possession, yes.
But he didn't have it in his possession, did he? The items that you allegedly found were only in his house.
To which he has already stated to me he has the only key.
My client has many visitors. Other campaign workers? People passing through town, house guests?
I asked the defendant who else was in the house the past few days, to which he stated no one as
Yes,
far
but
as
it
he
doesn't
knew.
have to have been on those few days, does it? It could have been in the previous week. The device could have been prepared in Mr. Meredith's house without his knowledge and then later planted at Miss Malcolm's at someone else's convenience.
Can you repeat the question, counsel? No, I mean, if there was a question.
My question is this. Is it not true, Senior Detective, that your case is based entirely on circumstantial evidence?
Objection, Your Worship.
On what grounds?
The defence is badgering the witness.
I think the witness is quite capable of taking care of himself.
Todd Ellery sold it to me to pay for his fines.
You actually bought a second-hand motor vehicle from an Ellery. I have to ask you very seriously, Constable, whether you came down in the last shower.
I got the rego papers.
As you very well know, they can be obtained illegally too. Where's your helmet?
I've still got to buy one.
So how did you get it back from the courthouse?
I wheeled it.
Well, if I was you, I'd be checking every serial number on this thing very carefully before Ellery presents the cheque.
I paid cash.
Your Worship, I wish to request an adjournment until tomorrow morning in order to call another witness.
Who do you want to call, Constable?
George Tobias. His statement's in the brief. He has been summoned, though previously told he wouldn't be required. I, however, have reason to believe that the evidence he can give will be important.
I object, Your Worship. It is true Mr. Tobias has been summoned, however, he's now not expected to appear. Ms. Carter has just informed me that he's in Melbourne and may not be able to come at the drop of a hat.
Are you serious about calling him, Constable?
Yes, I am, Your Worship.
All right. Well, I will schedule another day here. This matter is adjourned till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
As Your Worship pleases, may I be excused?
Till tomorrow, Mr. Jackson. And a strenuous attempt should be made in the meantime to ensure Mr. Tobias's presence. We'll move on to the next case, Constable.
Then what the hell are you doing? We do not need Tobias. I told you that.
Well, I want him
We
here, all
don't
right?
need him then,
I
okay?
do.
If you wish to discuss your case, Mr. Hasham, may I suggest you talk to the prosecutor during the adjournment break?
Your Worship.
Yes, George, yes. I have no idea why you're required. I realise that, but you were summoned earlier.
Maggie, what the hell is
PJ,
going on?
don't
We do
talk
not
to me
need
now.
the
I've got to go through the brief things case.
Listen, what's going on here, mate? You don't need Tobias, huh? Neither do I.
The prosecutor believes otherwise.
Look, it sounds like a stunt to me.
Okay, bye-bye. He'll drive down late tonight. He'll be with us first thing in the morning.
Rightio. Now, this is where I got to.
I've got another day in court tomorrow.
What? Yeah, the prosecutor decided to call another witness.
Oh, look, what is the point to all of this? To get Stephen Meredith a fair hearing with every aspect of his case heard, or to get a conviction and file it away?
He is getting a fair hearing, Maggie. Now, if the magistrate thinks that I'm wrong, then he will find in his favour.
The magistrate may not have enough information either way.
Maggie, your job is to prosecute on the facts in the brief. Is that clear? The rest is up to Brady.
I don't think Brady is at all well prepared either.
Could be right.
I had a quick decision to make. I made it. Now, I want to ask you some more
It's in the
questions
brief.
about this case.
Everything's
No,
in
it's
the
not.
brief.
It's not. Now, I want to know exactly how you arrived at all your conclusions.
You want to question me?
Yeah, why not?
Because I'm not available for questioning. I'm off to the pub.
PJ?
No, boss. Why should I?
Because you got her to prosecute.
Yeah, and she's got the brief. Now, if she wants any more, you can go
As
and...
sergeant of this station, I've got a judgment to make, and I'm making it. I want you to answer her questions.
Bloody hell. Oh, all right. 20 minutes and I'm out of here.
Thank you.
All she had to do was what I told her.
How long have you known Doyle?
Okay, what do you want to know?
What led you to Stephen in the first place?
Gemma Malcolm insisted it was somebody with a political motive. Now, I checked all of Tobias's campaign workers, and Meredith was the only one with a prior.
The part of the interview deleted from the tape, is that when you questioned Stephen about the priors?
Hmm?
Well, I want to know what happened.
Stephen Meredith was convicted for making threatening calls. Now, one of those calls involved a bomb hoax.
And was a fake bomb actually delivered?
Not to my knowledge, no.
So the actual planning of the fake was a new one for him?
Well, it's an obvious and minor extension of what he's done before, Maggie.
Convenient.
What?
He was caught, pleaded guilty and convicted. This time he's pleading not guilty. What, and it apparently didn't occur to him, if he did it, that this time he'd be under immediate suspicion. Come
People
on.
repeat offend, Maggie. Now, this bomb thing was the only thing we could prove against him.
But have we proven it?
Oh, bloody hell, Maggie.
No, I don't get it. Tobias was well ahead, wasn't he? Now why would Stephen risk so much to discourage a candidate who was never even going to win a seat?
Hey, I got the new helmet,
Yes,
Bob.
so I see.
Listen, I checked out the serial numbers. It's clean.
Good. Now, would it be too much trouble asking you to stop behaving like a pair of hoons and get this thing round the back?
Whatever goes, a good sound.
Get it out of there. Hey! Tire ball.
So it needs a bit of work.
Just get it around the back, will you?
Headlight doesn't work.
Yeah, I noticed that.
No
It's
indicator.
a real bargain, isn't it?
Locking straps hold the seat down.
20 minutes, Mags. Time's running out.
I don't want to prosecute a man who wasn't guilty, PJ.
Neither do I.
Would you drop the charges if you can be convinced?
Of course. What do you think? But it's Jackson's job to win the case for him, not ours. Maggie, you are the prosecutor. Look, I interviewed Meredith. Listened to the tape. His attitude was defensive and wary. He seemed to be very careful what he said.
You don't like him because he's gay?
No, Mags, it's got nothing to do with that. I don't like him because he uses terror for short-term political gain, that's why.
All right, let's just think about some possibilities.
I did.
Maybe Gemma planted the fake
Why?
to gain political kudos, to say in effect that this is what the other side's capable of.
And you think that she'd do that to her own kids,
No.
huh? Send them a bomb, scare them like that?
No, I don't. What about the woman with Stephen Tobias's offside? What's her name
Carter,
again?
Jan Carter.
Jan Carter. Could she be involved?
No, checked on it. She was nowhere in the area. The secretary confirmed that.
All right, other campaign office staff?
Mags, you can reinvestigate the entire population of Mount Thomas and St David's, but your 20 minutes is up, and I've got a case to run. Now, you can ask me some questions at the pub. I may or may not answer. What's this?
An apology.
Well, the only thing I don't mind about this adjournment, Maggie, is you've clearly inconvenienced Mr Jackson over there.
Our notable guest wishes to invite the police prosecutor to his room for a drink, and I should point out that he's just bought himself a bottle of Bushmills Black Label.
What?
My most expensive whiskey. I think he went the Irish for you, Miss Doyle.
Why didn't he ask me himself?
I'm not sure, but I suspect he thought present company might prove hostile.
Well, he's right. You can tell him the police prosecutor is not going to fall for that.
Well, there's nothing to say that I can't talk to him outside court hours. if I
No,
want
just
to.
that he wants to extract information about our case. That's
Well,
all.
I might be able to extract some about his.
Maggie, he has been at this a lot longer than you have.
Well,
all right?
we'll see. What room's he in, Chris?
Number 6.
Thank you.
What's wrong with you?
No, why?
You're like a cat on hot bricks.
Just give us another drink, will you, Chris?
I can sell you a shot of Irish whiskey by any chance, could I? It's funny. If I didn't know better, I could swear you were jealous.
Thanks for that. See you later. Nick, I'm waiting on a fax. It might be relevant to this case. Will you get it over to the courthouse as soon as it comes through?
Yep, sure. You've got a case to present. That's unless you sold us out to the opposition last night.
What's that all about? Well, you've been playing with matches, have you?
Oh, maybe.
I didn't send the parcel.
Did you deliver it?
No. I'd never do that to children.
What about adults?
No. Anyway, why would I? George was well ahead in the polls. He wasn't going to lose.
So you have no knowledge as to how these small pieces of paper or the casing of an alarm clock came to be found in your house?
No knowledge at all. I'd never seen them until the police produced them.
Thank you. Just wait there. I think the police prosecutor may have some questions to ask you.
Constable.
Mr. Meredith, are you suggesting that these items found in your home were deliberately placed there by another person?
I'm not suggesting it. I'm saying the items were planted.
Yet in all your evidence given thus far, you have not at any stage nominated any person that might have done this.
That's because I don't know of any person who might have done it. People visited my house. Maybe somebody had a grudge against me and wanted to set me up.
But who and why?
Wasn't that for the police to find
Just
out?
answer the question, please, Mr. Meredith. The police have found convincing evidence against you, evidence that you can't account for. You also appear to have made a very clumsy attempt at fabricating an alibi.
Your Worship, I responded to the facts I got.
Yet this fax mysteriously disappears from your files.
I don't know how that happened.
Mr. Meredith, all the evidence is that that fax was never sent. Now, how do you explain that?
I can't explain it. But I'm telling the truth.
Can't tell you what a nuisance this is, Jane.
Mr. Tobias?
Can you tell me how long I'm expected to wait, Constable?
Yeah, I've been sent to call you now, sir.
Good. Look, would you mind talking to my secretary while I'm inside, see how she's going rearranging my schedule? Stephen Meredith was a good employee and a dedicated campaign worker. I've already said that in my statement.
So you were surprised when you heard he'd been charged?
Very surprised. It seemed to be at odds with everything I knew about Mr. Meredith.
Mr. DeBars, you are aware of the nature of the charge against him. Preparing the appearance of a bomb with the intention of inducing in another person a false belief that the article or substance is likely to explode or ignite or discharge a dangerous or deleterious substance.
I do understand the seriousness of the matter, and I'm certainly not condoning that sort of thing here. Threats of a terrorist nature, even as a hoax, can play no part in our democratic process.
Mr. Tobias, you've been summoned here today to give evidence, not to make a political speech.
Mr. DeBars, did you send Mr. Meredith a fax requesting he meet you at the Mount Thomas campaign office on the afternoon in question?
No, I did not. And I said so in my statement. Look, all my staff deny sending such a fax. STD records for the day show no communication with Mount Thomas that might have been such a fax.
So were there any calls at all made to this area?
Yes, I made a routine call to the office in St David's before lunch. I spoke to Jan Carter. I had a query about the distribution of leaflets in a local shopping mall. I think there was a dancing koala show that day.
Do you mean a children's costume show?
Yeah, that's the one.
And you discussed this dancing koala show with Mrs. Carter, is that correct, Mr. DeBars?
Objection, Your Worship. What can dancing koalas possibly have to do with the matter in hand? I think the prosecutor has clearly had a late night.
Yes, I have to agree with the defence here. I must ask you to move it along, please, Constable.
Thank you. May I have a moment, please, Your Worship?
If I may say so, Your Worship, I've been brought here at great inconvenience merely to reaffirm the statement I've already given.
Do you have any further questions, Constable?
No, Your Worship.
That was bloody embarrassing, Maggie.
Oh, why should you be embarrassed? I set it up.
Because as a station, we look like idiots, that's why.
Well, I got what I wanted.
Which was?
Time.
So what do you want time for?
Time to get more information, time to go through the brief overnight.
Yeah, well, I thought that you would have been too tied up with the defence for all that.
I got something else, too.
Hmm?
You can wait and see. Mrs. Carter, you've told us that you yourself engaged Mr. Meredith to work in the campaign office on a part-time basis.
That's right.
And you also work for Mr. Tobias on a part-time basis, don't you?
Yes.
And you have an office in Melbourne as well as Mount Thomas?
Yes.
And you told Senior Detective Hasham that on the day in question you left Mount Thomas at 6 a.m. and didn't return until that evening. Is that correct?
Yes, my secretary confirmed it.
Mrs. Carter, did you hear Mr. Tobias's evidence?
No, I was outside.
Then you didn't hear him say that he in fact spoke to you at the campaign office in St David's on the afternoon in question?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yet, Mrs. Carter, you gave an unequivocal statement to Senior Detective Hasham the next day. You told him you were not in the area on the day in question, and your secretary backed you up. Did she lie to protect you, Mrs. Carter?
I don't know.
Did you lie to Senior Detective Hasham? Was it because you knew you had to concoct an alibi for the day of the bomb hoax? Now remember, phone records have been produced. They show a call at about the time stated by Mr. Tobias, don't they? Will you please answer the question, Mrs. Carter? Why did you lie to the police?
Your Worship, the answer to that question may incriminate the witness.
Your Worship, I am seeking to challenge the witness's credibility.
I'll allow the question.
Once more, Mrs. Carter, why did you go out of your way to conceal the fact that you were indeed in the area on the day of the bomb hoax?
Because,
Was it because you yourself carried out the hoax and wished to put the blame on a third party? Is that why, Mrs. Carter?
got her.
I think so.
How did you know she was in town that day?
I didn't. That was a bonus that came out of Tobias's evidence. The one thing I did know, the thing that Michael found out as part of a general background, was that Jan Carter worked at the same university that Stephen went to, so it's very likely she knew about his prior conviction.
Must have caused quite a stir at the time.
Therefore, Jan Carter was the one most likely to have set Stephen up.
We'd pull up his prior and we'd suspect him.
In other words, we'd fall for it.
Yeah, well, we did. Well, I did.
Order. I believe we need not go any further into this case at this stage. There appears to be some significant doubt into aspects of the police case against the defendant. I therefore order that the charge against him be withdrawn.
When you hired Stephen Meredith, Mrs. Carter, were you aware that he had prior convictions?
He didn't put it on his resume, if that's what you mean.
Well, we both know that's not what I mean. It was something of a public scandal at the university where he was a student, wasn't it? And he was over 17, so his name and details weren't suppressed, were they?
I wouldn't know.
Really? Even though you worked at the university at the time and quite concerned about its public image? Why did you lie about not being in the area at the time the fake bomb was delivered? Now, I should tell you, Mrs. Carter, fingerprints were found at the house and they've yet to be identified. Could these fingerprints be yours?
Look, it didn't occur to me that the children would find it. I didn't think she'd take it that seriously. I didn't think of the army being called in.
Doesn't sound like you did much thinking at all, Mrs. Carter. Still don't understand why you did it. Jim and Malcolm had no chance of winning. Do you despise her that much?
This has nothing to do with her.
So you did this to set up Stephen Meredith? Why?
Because he's so openly homosexual. George Tobias is a conservative candidate. Hiring someone like this in a small country town. I mean, we live in a society where having a homosexual on staff can ruin your campaign. Tolerance is one thing, but you've got to be realistic.
You told me you hired him.
No, you said that. I hired him because I was forced to hire him. George wanted him on staff, not me.
Right, so you set him up. Just to protect Tobias. Fabricated the facts, sent it to him, and removed it later just to protect your employer. And you were willing to let Stephen Meredith wear a jail sentence, huh?
He deserved it. He's perverted.
It's not a very tolerant viewpoint, Mrs. Carter.
My son died of AIDS. So don't give me any of this gay rights thing. It's people like him that did it. They poison. He deserves to go to jail. He deserves to be dead. Like my son.
She said why she did it?
Well, she hates Stephen Meredith. Her son was gay, so she blames all gays for it.
Not a lot of logic in that. Yeah, now for our hotshot police prosecutor, I've got some good news about this neighbourhood watch report.
Oh, great. You finished it.
No, I've organised an extension. You don't have to have it in until tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Yes, Mr. Meredith.
I just wanted to check. Nothing will be recorded against me, will it?
No, nothing. Oh, by the way, you can thank Constable Doyle for your deliverance.
I don't think I have anyone to thank here, do I?
Thanks, Chrissy. There you go.
What's that?
Yes.
Ah, did Chris open a bottle, did you?
Oh, no, I bought a bottle for us. It's behind the bar.
Tough.
May I have a word, Madam Prosecutor?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I could say goodbye over dinner.
Oh, I thought you had to be back in Melbourne.
No, not till late tonight or early tomorrow morning. I may not be back this way for a while.
So you're not planning to defend Jane Carter?
Oh, no, not much point. She'll plead guilty. I think a local can handle it.
Listen, there's one thing I've got to ask you. Who paid for you to defend Stephen?
Tobias.
Tobias?
Well, wouldn't you get a good lawyer to defend your lover? Now, come on, what about dinner?
Brady, I've got a previous engagement.
What, a pub hamburger? I think we can do better than that.
Look, I'm sorry, I can't.
All right, then. See ya.
See ya.
What can I do for you?
You realise you're exceeding the speed limit by about 20 k an hour?
Come on, you're off duty, right? You don't need to book me.
No, I don't. I think I will, though.
To say it, you did well. To the prosecutor.
To the investigating detective.
To out-of-town barristers.
And my future cases. I'm thinking of studying law. Well, don't you think I'd be good at it?
No. I think you'd be very good at it. Come on, it's getting on for 10. I've seen a magistrate throw a case out of court because a senior constable was 30 seconds late.
I'm right.
Yes, so am I. Grab the evidence box, will you, mate? Man,
Yeah, I'm coming.
No,
hold on.
I was just wondering if you maybe wanted to have some dinner.
Cutting it a
tonight.
bit fine, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
You've got your bomb hoax case, haven't you?
That was George Tobias's campaign work, wasn't it? You've been trying to get it on since May, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, is Big George going to put in an appearance?
Bit too mundane for your local MP. He'll be too busy kissing babies and opening shopping centres. So what are you hanging around for?
Well, ask her.
Doyle, I've seen a magistrate throw a case out of court simply because a senior constable was
Boss,
30 seconds
I've tried that one.
So what's the problem?
The report on the local neighbourhood watch program has to be off to Avonlea by tomorrow evening.
So why did you take it on?
Because someone's got to do it. There's a risk the program could be wound up due to lack of support, which means more work for all of us, including yourself.
All right, let's just get going.
So how long do you expect to be gone?
I'm only appearing in the Exceed .05, so I'll be back by lunch.
All right, leave it with me then.
Oh, okay. Great. Go. Tap. All right. Oops. Thanks. See ya. What were you going to ask me?
Hey?
Back at the station.
Oh, yeah, well, I was just going to ask
Hey,
you...
guys, we've got a problem. The prosecutor's been carted off to hospital with a ruptured appendix.
Bloody hell.
Well, can't one of you do it?
I'm the major witness in this terrorist thing.
I thought it was a bomb hoax.
Maggie, when people send bombs, fake or otherwise, they're terrorists, okay?
Oh, okay. Keep your shirt on. And look, Wayne can probably do it.
Well, no, he's got the Exceed .05.
You can do it.
What?
You can do it.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I haven't read the briefs, and besides, I'm a witness myself.
Only in the Exceed PCA.
Look, what about your case? I know nothing about it. I was on leave then.
And you'll bring a fresh mind to it. Come on.
PJ, I have got this neighbourhood watch report. It's got to be done by tomorrow.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Got yourself a prosecutor?
Yes, sir. Constable Maggie Doyle here.
Good. You've prosecuted before, Constable.
No, sir, I haven't. I'm actually rather concerned about taking it on. I feel...
Yes, but you do have some training in court procedure.
Yes.
Well, we all have to start somewhere. Take the circumstances into account.
No.
Got Ellery?
Hey, Wayne.
Nice bike. Where's your helmet?
Oh, man, the odds were going crazy about my court appearance.
Yeah, and?
Well, Dad came charging out in a really bad mood and backed out the ute without looking. He ran over my helmet. I was lucky he didn't take out the bike as well.
Todd, you're still required by law to wear a helmet.
Yeah, but if I fail to turn up to court, you guys are going to arrest me. Well, give me a break, Wayne. I've got enough problems.
All right, mate, look, you produce the damaged helmet and I won't charge you, okay?
No worries.
And I mean that helmet. Not some kid's toy, not something you picked up off the street. I want the helmet I've seen you wear. Occasionally.
Todd Ellery! Todd Ellery!
Okay, we're on.
Oh, man. I suppose it's too late to bribe you, so you can change your evidence.
Quit while you're behind, Todd.
What did you do then?
I intercepted him and gave him a preliminary breath test. The results of this test indicated a positive blood alcohol reading, so I then conveyed him back to the Mount Thomas police station where he underwent a breathalyzer test. As a result of this test, a blood alcohol reading of 0.08 was obtained. He was then charged with exceed PCA and exceeding 60 kilometres per hour in a built-up area.
Constable, what excuse did the defendant give for these offences?
He said he had a lot on his mind.
Do you wish to cross-examine?
Oh, just a moment.